Reports of sexual assaults on women on New Year's Eve continue to rise. They've now been recorded in 6 European countries, with more than 500 attacks in Germany alone. Some women have made accusations of a virtual news blackout immediately after the assaults, but now the German government says it will make it easier to deport asylum seekers who commit crimes. That's after most suspects were identified as foreign nationals. In a moment we'll hear from a British teenager who was assaulted in Paris. But first, here's a reminder of the scale of the incidents.
Police forces around Europe are continuing to investigate claims of sexual assault against women on New Year's Eve. More than 500 criminal complaints have been filed in Germany relating to incidents occurring that night, with 40% alleging sexual assault. Some say they were raped. The attacks in Cologne appear to have been organised. Around the city's train station, it's thought up to 1,000 men in groups surrounded women, penning them in before attacking.
Ja, und dann plötzlich fingen die Männer uns herum an, uns anzufassen, haben uns am Po gefasst, sind in Schritt gegangen, haben uns überall angefasst.
Ich habe versucht, mich irgendwie noch zu wehren, dass ich meinen Arm nach hinten geschleudert habe. Ich bin die Treppen sogar noch fast deswegen runtergefallen.
The attackers have been described as being of North African and Arab origin. This in a country where more than 1 million asylum seekers arrived last year. Elsewhere in Germany, there have been reports of similar crimes. Police in Hamburg have told the BBC that more than 50 women there have reported attacks with similar tactics, while complaints have also been filed in Berlin, Stuttgart, Düsseldorf and Frankfurt. Police in Kalmar in Sweden have received 11 sexual harassment complaints regarding New Year's Eve, including from women who were encircled by 10 to 15 men. In Salzburg in Austria, 2 men have been charged with sexually assaulting women on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. In Zurich in Switzerland, a total of 6 women now say they were sexually assaulted after entering a crowd of multiple men with dark-coloured skin, the authorities say. And in Helsinki in Finland, police say they're investigating 2 possible criminal offences relating to harassment. They're centred around a gathering of asylum seekers. Now, a teenager from London has told this programme that she was sexually assaulted by a group of men while celebrating New Year's Eve in Paris.
And Claudia Thior, who's 18, was near the Eiffel Tower with her friend Kamali Brown on New Year's Eve. They waived their anonymity to tell the Victoria Derbyshire programme what happened to them. Their account includes some graphic details.
The first thing that they done was they grabbed my clothes and completely ripped them apart. So I was sitting butt naked on the floor. And then
What did they rip off? Everything?
I had like
Unitard.
like a unitard on. So once they ripped one part of it, the whole thing just came apart. And then they started grabbing like areas of my body, and then they snatched my chains off. And then after that happened, that's when they started penetrating me with their hands.
Was there anything that you could do that was going through your mind?
I was genuinely just under so much shock, and my initial reaction was just, don't let them touch you. Don't let them get too close to me. So I thought if I put myself in a little ball, I'd be able to stop them from getting too close to me. But I tried to get up, but because there were so many people there, I just, like, every time I lifted myself up, someone would push me back down. So honestly, it was like, as much as it only lasted like 2 to 3 minutes, it felt like it was going on forever. And I just felt like I felt completely powerless, like I couldn't do anything for myself to get myself out of the situation.
And the fact is, you were in a situation where there were lots of other people around. I'm sure all sorts of things were going through your mind at the time, but could you believe that in an environment where you had felt safe just a short while ago, suddenly you were caught up in something like that?
That's what was really upsetting. Like, when I finally stood up, what I thought to myself was, first, I didn't feel upset about what had happened to me. What upset me was the amount of people that had the same intention of doing that. I was just like, how could so many people that are unfamiliar with each other think that what they're doing is okay? And to think that only out of all the people that were on the bridge at the time, there was only one man who came and helped me up and led me off to the side.
There was like so many people watching. So like there was some people that were like younger than us. After the incident happened, they disappeared. No one helped us afterwards. Like, some of the men were asking us where our parents were, like, as if it excused their actions.
And that was Kamali Bryan and her friend Claudia Fior talking to the Victoria Derbyshire programme. And you can see a longer version of that interview on the Victoria Derbyshire programme page. That's bbc.co.uk/Victoria.